My god, guys, Annabelle 2 did not fucking suck. What is up, everyone? My name is Zach. I'm bringing you guys a brand new early review for Annabelle Creation. Yes, the sequel to a horrible spinoff a couple years ago, but very happy to say that this movie does not disappoint. It fits perfectly into the Conjuring universe and holds up just between Conjuring and Conjuring 2. Annabelle 2, Annabelle Creation, whatever you want to call it, is fan-fucking-tastic. Annabelle takes place like 30 years before any of the original Conjuring stuff had happened. And I have to say, like, I really enjoyed what they did with this story for Annabelle Creation. I don't know how true it is to the actual true story of Annabelle, but I have to say it fits perfectly, super perfectly into the whole Conjuring universe, just the way the story plays out. And I'm not trying to spoil anything, I'm just going to say that. There's lots of Easter eggs, there's lots of little tidbits that if you notice and you're a Conjuring fan, you're a Warren's fan in real life, or you're a fan of all this ghosts and stuff in real life, it's very intriguing and you will totally freak out about some of the Easter eggs in here, and especially the ending. I absolutely think this is one of the best endings for a horror movie, and it's just so creative and unique with what they did and played into, and I really like that. And when you catch on to what's going on, you'll freak out too if you know what's going on. The story with this one around is it's pretty much just a bunch of girls go to a new orphanage out in the middle of nowhere, and it turns out one of the guys there who run the orphanage was a doll maker, and he had created Annabelle. And the whole story behind how Annabelle, this creepy doll, became what it is, like I said, I don't want to spoil anything because I was so stooped and so into the story because I didn't really know what was going on. So I'm going to leave it there because I didn't watch any much trailers. I kind of just guessed what was going on in the beginning from the first trailer. So I'm really not going to say much anymore about the story. I do want to talk about is David F. Sandberg, the director of this film. Really become one of my favorite up-and-coming directors. After Lights Out and the short film Lights Out, I'm a fan of both of those. And I love hearing his story of how he got into this because for me, as a young filmmaker, I'm the same way. I love hearing these stories and seeing what he is now. He goes from Lights Out, this short film, then goes to actually making a film about that short film, which honestly was a very fun movie. But Annabelle Creation, David F. Sandberg created something so unique to the Conjuring world that, like I said, it holds up to Conjuring 1 and 2, and that's really hard because Conjuring 1 and 2 are some of the scariest movies of all time, and for me, I think Annabelle is even scarier at times, and some more graphic images in here that play into the story that make it even more terrifying. He doesn't rely on jump scares. I think that's one of the best things. He doesn't rely on jump scares. It's very much atmosphere and thrilling and keeping you on the edge of your seat, and that's what I love seeing from a movie. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there are some jump scares in here, but they play out very well in how they're in there, that they don't piss you off like a jumping cat in front of you or a guy coming around the corner. It's all actual scares, and that's what I loved about this film. Honestly, whatever David F. Sandberg does next, I'm going to be super excited to see. If he's really directing Shazam, I'm going to freak out about that because I think he'll do a phenomenal job with here. He makes the kids in here, who probably could come off as just one-noted or just you actually start caring about a bunch of the girls in here, and I actually like that because it's hard to do that when you have like 7 little girls. Mostly you can be like, that one's expendable, that one's expendable, that one's expendable, and there surely are 2 expendable ones, but a majority of the girls in here you actually do care about, and you do actually grow too, and it's very intriguing to see that. There is one girl in particular though that I do want to talk about, and she was actually in Ouija Origin of Evil a year ago, and that's Lulu Wilson. She's back in here, and she's not this demified thing anymore. She actually gives a really heartfelt performance in here, and you really believe in her, and she becomes a true hero throughout the film. She's a really exceptional young actress, and I really liked seeing her in here pop up, and that doesn't give any flack to any of the other actors in here. I really enjoyed everyone's performance in here. The way they used Annabelle in this film was actually very smart. They didn't shove her in your face. They used her very cleverly, and I'll just leave it at that. It's very clever with what they do. I did have any cons. I mean, no movie is completely perfect. If I had any cons, my con would probably be, I think the movie started off a little too slow. It took me a little bit to get invested in the film, but once I was invested, it was hook, line, and sinker. I literally was so hooked so fast once it started going, and once it does, you'll be hooked too, because me and my friend both had the same thing. When the movie started, the pacing was a little slow, and I didn't know how to feel about it, because it started reminding me of the first movie, which I really am not a fan of. But then, once it actually started going, it was kind of like, wow, like, I'm really fucking into this. I'm really on the edge of my seat. My palms were sweating. I was gripping my palms because I honestly didn't know what to do or what to grab because I was actually scared. And I slept through it last night. I slept pretty good. I would be lying if I didn't say the second I laid my head down, I didn't think of the terrifying images I saw in this movie. That's what a horror film should do greatly on, is making me think about it the second I lie down. I think that is what a horror movie in particular, should be able to do super well. haven't had that happen in a very long time. So Annabelle Creation, David F. Sandberg, you did a fantastic job creating such a unique sequel. And I say, Annabelle Creation, you are surely one of the best sequels I've seen from a horror movie in a very long time. David F. Sandberg, you've directed such a unique, creative, and such a thrilling adventure that I can't wait to see what you go and do next, because you really brought something and added it to the Conjuring world. I never really believed in these spin-offs, especially after the first one, but after this movie, it gets me excited about the Nun spin-off they're doing and the Crooked Man, and it actually makes me believe that they can do this whole Conjuring universe that they're doing with horror films. I think if you get great talent like David F. Sandberg or Juan, you can really truly make this Conjuring universe completely work, because this movie holds up with 1 and 2's Conjuring, and it makes me scared to see what they do next, because I'm actually terrified. If the Nun turns out well, I'm probably not going to sleep after that. All that said, I'm going to give Annabelle Creation an A. Annabelle Creation, what can I say? It was a very big surprise to me. I did not think it was going to be that good, and right now it's holding up 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's awesome. I'm really excited to see that this movie's getting that love, especially after the first one, which has like a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I will say this, I actually do have to say this. If you're excited to see Annabelle Creation, you don't have to see the Conjuring 1 or Conjuring 2 or even the first Annabelle. I would recommend, though, even though the first Annabelle is really bad, I would recommend checking it out still before going and seeing this one. Reasons I don't want to say, but I feel like it will actually add to your depth of the movie. And same with the first Conjuring and the second Conjuring. They'll also add to the world, and I think you'll get more into it as well. So I totally recommend you got to see at least 1, 2, and Annabelle if you can before the movie comes out. If not, you can totally go see this movie without seeing any of those, still shit your pants and get scared, and still enjoy the whole story as a whole. Tell me, guys, are you excited for Annabelle Creation after this review? Or are you kind of like, I'm done with horror films, I'm done with this, just do the Conjurings? Please comment down below and let me know what you guys thought of this review and what you guys think of Annabelle Creation coming out soon. And other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate when you guys all do that, because I love all the people I like to talk to movies with. It's one of my favorite things to do nowadays, and I just love talking movies. So let's talk it down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching.